Hey everybody, still coming to grips with this whole flat earth truther movement because I'm new to all this, and again I think it's a generation thing. When I was thinking about truth, I guess it was before 9/11 happened, and me trying to discover truth was what led me to join the Freemasons over 15 plus years ago, because I was looking for truth, and I said it was before 9/11. And so the amount of rabbit holes I went down in the Masons is eye-opening, and it makes you skeptical about a lot of things you've been taught, because you're exposed to books and accounts of history that are a little different than what you are exposed to from your educational system. So one of the things about truth is there are no coincidences in truth. Like with 9/11, people who ever looked into that, was it a coincidence George Bush was in Florida reading My Pet Goat? Was it a coincidence that Cheney had NORAD running training drills on hijacked planes away from New York City so he didn't have any air defense? Was it a coincidence that the Saudi family got flown out? So most truthers don't believe in coincidences. And I believe that truthers also were trying to live a life that was a little bit different from what the unenlightened, uninformed sheeple masses live, and that is materialism, sex, and just bullshit. The TV, entertainment being fed to you. And one of the things that I know has disgusted a lot of people is like the Kardashians, keeping up with the Kardashians, the whole Bruce Jenner thing, and TMZ, where they run around just gossiping. So I was thinking about TMZ because my wife occasionally likes to throw that on, and I went online to see exactly what was said about TMZ. And it's interesting when I read that. Talking about 7 months prior to the official launch of TMZ, American Online, AOL, had hinted that it was planning to launch a Hollywood entertainment-centric news site that would be produced in conjunction with Telepictures Productions, and had shown interest in launching a website featuring a focus mainly on celebrities. At the time of the launch, confirmed that the site would primarily feature and consist of Hollywood gossip, including interviews, photos, and video footage of celebrities, and information pertaining to industry, news on movies, television, shows, etc. The site was described as an effort to further feed the current American obsession with celebrities. Mike Shields of MediaWeek.com wrote, "The site also boasts of an expansive collection of archived star photos, videos, allowing fans to trace changing hairlines and waistlines of their favorite performers over the years." So I thought about that. Sounded interesting if I changed a few words throughout here. Coincidentally, it sounds familiar to a show called Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes instead of TMZ. So if we switch some of the words around, Luciferian inversion, I'll read this again and use the relevance to Flat Earth. 7 months prior to the official launch of TMZ, or we could say Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, American Online had hinted that it was planning to launch a Flat Earth style site that would be produced in conjunction with the enclosed world. They had shown interest in launching this website featuring a focus mainly on, instead of celebrities, flat earth video makers. At the time of the launch, Sargent confirmed that the site would primarily feature and consist of flat earth gossip, including interviews, photos, and video footage of YouTubers, and information pertaining to flat earth news with videos, hangouts, etc. The site, Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, was described as an effort to further feed the current American obsession with celebrities, YouTube video makers. So Mike Shields of MediaWeek.com wrote, "This site also boasts of an expansive collection of archived star photos, videos, allowing fans to trace changing hairlines and waistlines of their favorite flat earth personalities. So it's amazing how TMZ is literally flat earth and hot potatoes for the truthers who want to live a life that the mainstreamers, the sheeple, don't get inundated with. And then, thinking about how close Sargent and Cowpat have created a scene that is somewhat of the mainstream now, I can't help think of the Mark Sargent Morning Wood video. Like alcohol, I don't mix my alcohols. Beer and wine, wine and whiskey, tequila. I also don't mix beer and chocolate. My palate isn't good with that. I also don't mix flat earth and sex. That's just me. It's a whole different game. So when Mark Sargent put out the flat earth Morning Wood problem video, we all know that in occult, let alone pagan societies, phallic worship was a huge thing. That was one of the main things. The obelisk from Egypt, which also has been replicated in Washington, D.C., we know is a big giant phallus. The steeples on churches represent a phallus. So I figured I'd look up what a phallus is, defined, because Mark had to make a 3-minute video about phallus symbols, and that it's an issue that we were deceived about Morning Wood. So from Wikipedia again, or Lickmypedia, shout out to Johnny. A phallus is a penis, especially when erect, an object that resembles a penis, or a mimetic image of an erect penis. Any object that symbolically, or more precisely, iconically resembles a penis may also be referred to as a phallus. However, such objects are more often referred to as being phallic, like phallic symbol. Such symbols represent fertility and cultural implications that are associated with the male sexual organ as well as the male orgasm. So if I'm correct, the flat earth leader, whatever you want to call him, puts out a phallic symbol video about Morning Wood's erections, that it's a problem and we've been lied to about it. 2, a potential sex tape. 3, I don't even want to watch, because I don't have the time to watch a video from a hotel room from the mixer. So right now, Mark Sargent, who has been called a eunuch, people have said he shows no emotion. Every video from these military people ask Mark, when are you and Patricia going to get amorous with each other? So the whole fluff piece again, bring it on a Mason who's not really a knowledgeable Mason, who was military, as well as releasing your hotel room romp and your phallic symbol thing, is all an attempt to make you seem virile, which isn't needed for flat earth, it isn't needed for truth, it isn't really needed for anything, except sheeple who like the mainstream element now creeping into, which could be a real truth, but we'll never know. Just remember, there are no coincidences in truth. If there were no coincidences about training drills happening when mass shootings go down, if there's no coincidences about Boston bombings and Sandy Hooks and 911, then there's no coincidence that a guy with a military name pimping a female whose name means a pile of bovine dung from a castrated bull who pushes veganism, go out and eat those plants that get sprayed every day by those chemtrails that people want to cry about in their conspiracies. So I'm just putting out that there are no coincidences in truth. None. And there is no coincidences that all of a sudden you have a Patty Steer video trying to claim her validity with her family. whose name coincidentally means pile of bovine dung from a castrated bull, and pushes veganism from a guy whose name is military and all he gets fed are military interviews. Just no coincidences again. And I love the ballers. You guys are great. Peace out. Flatlines matter.